Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Look into my world. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door shall be open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given love's peace of mind. I'll be waiting there with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
Hello everybody, Songfather here on the 25th day of June 2019. And on the island of Long, a crappy day. Rain and drizzle and some thunderstorms early in the morning. And that's what, it's what you got to put up with. That's what it's all about. I remember as a kid, used to get some nice, not all day though, not like it's here, but we get some nice passing, boom, really good thunderstorms and the rain pouring down, and we'd be so hot, and I would get on my bike and I would just ride, and just ride around the neighborhood, my mother screaming, "Where you going? What's wrong with you?" Gone. Come back completely soaking wet, and then she would want to crack my head open. Boy, I tell you, when I think about it, I put that lady through some hell. Not hell, but maybe heck. I put her through some heck. But she always got a kick out of it because, it was never malicious. It was just being an asshole. So welcome, everybody. Here we go. And go over a couple of news items, and then we'll get into some songs. I got a nice selection today of all kinds of different genres. I just like saying that word. It's like somebody I went to school with, Like, hey, who's that guy over there? Oh, that's genre. But Nassau County and Suffolk County on the island of Long have been named the most expensive places to live in the United States of America. And no, I don't say that to brag. I say that to puke because it's too expensive. People are flocking out of this state at an unbelievable rate. Every time you turn around, there's more and more houses going up for sale. Who's buying them? I don't know, but they're not moving them. I mean, they're not buying them to move, to the next town or three towns. They're selling these houses to get the hell out of New York. It's not good. And my biggest fear was, because one of my dreams is always to relocate to Florida, even though, born in Manhattan, lived in the Bronx, then out here, and, worked 20-something years in the city, mostly up in the Bronx and Manhattan. And so it's in my blood. And I know I would miss it, but I can't afford it. I just can't. I don't know how people do it. Two salaries, and then you need that to survive. I mean, here in America, it's $20,000 a year. In other places on the island, it's $40,000, $36,000 a year. Those are salaries. That's somebody's salary that you need just to pay the taxes. And I never understood. I rented my whole life, so there was a lot of people that used to yell at me and say, "Oh, you're renting an apartment. You're throwing money out the window." Yes and no, when you finally get to sell your house, so maybe if you're lucky, recouping all the taxes that you spent in hopefully your mortgage is clear. And I believe me, I get that. But then on the other side of the coin, the refrigerator just broke down. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, my refrigerator's broke. They're there the next morning, old one out, new one in. The air conditioner broke. Boom, it's done. There's 8 inches of snow outside. They shovel the whole sidewalk and clean your car out and everything else, So, there's the ups and downs, but I don't know. Just you can't live here anymore. It's just ridiculous. And since everybody, or a very high portion of them, they were going into Houston and parts of Texas at an amazing rate years and years ago. That stopped. Then they were flocking to Arizona. That stopped, and and they're all ending up in Florida. And what's going to happen is, and it's already happening, I see the prices going up just on rentals. I see the prices going up when I go down and see Sonny, partly Sonny, I'm sorry, no, Sonny, in the supermarkets, or it used to be, really, really reasonable because it's a right to work state, like just most states are now, I guess, but no unions, and, so they were able to pay little. The people aren't allowed to accept tips, which I find that very I don't know, czarish. But all those prices are going up now too because the cost of living is going up because there's more people down there, more houses are being built, more units are being built. They're building one down in Tampa by the if you know the Tampa area. Down by the water down there, where that big circle is. They're building all kinds of high-rise units. There's one going up in West Palm Beach that they've been fighting for years. The people that live there and the zoning boards and this, and we don't want it. We don't need it. It's a 13-story, multi-dwelling, blah, 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 blah. We don't want it. Well, they lost, and that's going up because they got to house these people. So all that's going to cost. You're going to see. You're going to see. We get taxed for everything up here. And I never understood that if you have children, and now your children are grown and married, and even not even living in the state anymore, if that's the case, like in mine, why are we paying school tax? I mean, I know, we're here to help out, but I think the rule should be as long as your children are in school, you pay the school tax. You got to pay a tax, which we're educating your children. Okay, makes sense. But why? Makes you rest in peace. But my mom is 80 years old, and I could never figure it out, or Pop, same thing, he was very, very gracious and generous and always paid the taxes and on time. But nobody's in school, so why are we paying it? Yeah, I never understood that end of it. I never understood taxes to begin with. I don't know. And one of the reasons I had to close down my private investigation business, for the most part, was because forget that you had to pay insurance and all that stuff, and I understand that. But it's a service that we were providing, and then about, I would say, roughly 5-6 years ago, maybe more, but not much more after that. New York State decided we have to start charging sales tax. And, when you're in a business and you're charging sales tax, you're just holding that money for the state. You're like a broker for them. And so many people in business get in trouble with that because it's extra money coming into your pocket. You kind of forget sometimes you got to give the state that back. But I was one of about a half dozen people that kept driving all the way up to Albany and petitioning the state and saying, but why are we charging a sales tax? We're performing a service. It shouldn't be taxed. It should not be a sales tax. But so then on top of that, you had to pay another 4% if you were doing work in New York City. So before you know it, you're losing customers left and right because what do I got to do? If I'm putting guards in a place somewhere. Well, I got to pay X amount of dollars an hour, right? And then I got to pay sales tax on top of that, and I'll forget it. It's just not worth it. And that's what happens, and you start, losing clients and then losing business. Then you can't afford the insurance, and so it's a long story. Me, I just get rambling. I can't stop. Number one, Nassau and Suffolk, number one and number two most expensive places to live in the USA. Wow, unbelievable. So. School's out. Today's the last day of school, at least here on the island of Long. I know most of you, especially down in the south, it's already happened, and you guys always start a lot earlier. But let's make sure we drive careful and watch, because there's maniacs on their bikes all over the place, at least around here. And, just like I was. So just be careful, that's our future. I believe the children are the future. So here's a nice bit of news, and then we'll get into the first song that Stella Napolitano wanted to hear a little while back. A man in China dished out $400,000, and he bought a canine slaughterhouse because it's a cuisine over there, and it's not a joke. And when you see it on Facebook and everything, it's a cuisine. Dogs, feet. Please, I can't even get into that. But so he bought this slaughterhouse, and he rescued over 2,000 dogs that were in there getting ready to be, like we do with the rest of the meat that we eat in the world. But I know it's not right, and I understand the whole vegan thing, and but I like meat. I'm sorry. Whenever I see a cow, I run up to the fence there and I apologize to them. I don't know if that means anything, but it's tough. And $400,000. I mean, obviously he must be well off, and but he did the right thing with it. And so I just forgot to say, I had to share that story because that's a great story. You read about that all the time, and there's a thing. It's always on. I think it's on Facebook or Instagram, but it's called the Dodo. If you ever watch that, all they do is they highlight and they spotlight people that are found dogs on the side of the road, found a mother with 10 kittens or 10 puppies, all alone, under an abandoned building and stuff, and and just they take them and they nurse them back to health. And I mean, just a touching story because they can't do it for themselves anyway. So. And the Yankees, except for Holder, thank God he's gone. Really, it was like World War II over there. They bombed the hell out of Toronto, the Blue Jays. And Holder came in, I forget what inning, 7th or 8th inning, with a 10-2 lead. CeCe pitched a great game. A couple of hiccups in the first inning and settled in. He was striking people out left and right, making them look stupid. Very enjoyable game to watch. Then Holder comes in and gives up 5 runs, and next thing you know, instead of being 10-2, it's 10-7, and now everybody's biting their nails. And I got to give him credit. Aaron Boone did the right thing. He went in and he grabbed Ottavino, and then he brought in Chapman and just let's shut it down. I mean, when you got a 10-2 lead, there's no way you're looking even thinking these guys are going to come into the game because they come in to make the saves, but. So anyway, so we won. So like 8 up on Boston now, and 5 up on Tampa, and the break is just a few weeks away. And I wish I was in Dixie. Away. I should never have coffee right before the show. My father and Chris said I turn into Robin Williams. Could be. Nano. And, and that's the other thing. Now that the summer's in and school's out, you got pools in your backyard. Please make sure you keep the gates closed, obviously to stop the toddlers and underage from getting in your backyard, God forbid, and falling in. But the same thing to go with animals, stray animals, and, let's just be vigilant and diligent. Hey, did you see how that rhymes? In protecting, all living things, That's our job. So, all right, so we'll get on a couple of these things. 10 years ago today, Farrah Fawcett passed away. So, and 10 years ago today, Michael Jackson passed away. Wow, both on the same day. It was kind of amazing to me. And today is George Michael's birthday. He would have been 56 today. Man, what the hell? Let's go back 9 months from June and see what the hell was going on that night. All right, so anyway, here's the song that Stella wanted to hear, and it was written by Mr. Steve Allen. And I remember when I first heard it because everybody sang this song. He must have made billions on this song. The most popular one I remember, of course, was it was his theme song too for his when he had his talk show, and it's called "This Could Be the Start of Something Big." But Steve and Edie they did this song great. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald did it, Dinah Washington, Frank, Dino, Perry Como, anybody that was grabbing a mic in the 50s and 60s, before the British invasion, was belting this tune out. I even think Linda Ronstadt did it to him. It's just a good song. And basically all the song is saying is at any given time, bam, that could be it right there. This could be the start of something. That could be the one. Holy Christmas. Wow. Sing along, shall we? You're walking along the street and you're at a party, or you're alone and then you suddenly dig. You're looking in someone's eyes, you suddenly realize this could be the start of something big. You're lunching at 21 and watching your diet declining a Charlotte Russe, accepting a fig. When out of the clear blue sky, it's suddenly gal and guy. This could be the start of something big. There's no controlling the unrolling of your fate, my friend. Who knows what's written in the magic book? But when a lover you discover at the gate, my friend, invite her in without a second look. You're up in an aeroplane or dining at Sardi's or lying at Malibu alone in the sand. You suddenly hear a bell and right away you can tell this could be the start of something grand. This could be the start of something very big. Why don't you play your part? Please give your heart to me. You'll see, this could be the start of something wonderful. Why don't you take a chance? Just try romance with me. You'll see. You're watching the sun come up and counting your money, or else in a dim cafe you're ordering wine. Then suddenly there she is. You want to be where she is. And this could be the start of something. This could be the heart of something. This could be the start of something big. Oh yeah. Have a seat. Wonderful song by Mr. Steve Allen. Great song. And thank you, Stella, for that suggestion. We were talking about when this thing first kicked off, I was doing just a couple, maybe one or two a week, and, testing it out and to see how it's going. And I felt comfortable with it, and I was getting a lot with it. Bella! And, what was coming back and being fed back to me was just making me feel better and more comfortable. And I said, wow, you never know this week where it could go. And Stella says, this could be the start of something big. You better sing that song. I will. I did. I shall. I will do it again sometime. So, yeah, okay. So, Yankees, yes. Farah, Italy, who has just had its second earthquake Sunday in the heart of Rome. There was one over in not too far away from Bagheria over in Sicily, where my friend Andrew has a home and a business, actually a couple of businesses, and then I think it was in southern or northern Italy. I don't remember where the other one was. Not maybe a month ago. So it's getting slammed and banged left and right. Plus the influx of Muslims there and fights on the street and this and that. I mean, it's terrible what's happening there. But so they just won the bid or the application or whatever the frig they call it to host the 2026 Olympics. All right, I mean, good. They're celebrating, and it brings a lot of revenue to the cities and where it's going to be held in the country, of course, because now things got to be built and dwellings and stadiums and a whole bunch of other stuff and mass transit, and that's all terrific. But you're having those problems there, right there on the streets, and then you're having problems with the faults underneath. Let's just hope, they that everything runs smooth and they're able to do it. So, yeah, very big celebrating over in Italia. They're so happy to get that, you know. So, I told you about the man in China. Oh, they made an arrest, and this piece of shit that ran over those Marines in that motorcycle club. And he's charged with 7 counts of vehicular homicide. And they're trying to up that to murder in the first degree, or at least the second degree, because it was intentional, you know. He's had 2 DWIs in the last month before this happened, and he was on ICE's watch list as, you know, some kind of a maniac. So if he's on the watch list, and he's had 2 DWIs or DUIs or whatever they call it, in a month, how is this guy driving? You know, I mean, his license wasn't suspended. But, he can just come here to New York and get one anyway, so it's... so say a prayer for them. And it's just horrible. It's just horrible. And then we had a road rage incident in Brooklyn, and it was captured on video. And you know, there's a car here and a guy behind him, and I guess he was trying to pass him, or he was beeping his horn, so the guy in front was going slower and slower. So the guy jumps out of his car and puts a gun right to the window where the driver was sitting. So the driver takes off. He gets back in his car, the guy with the gun. As it was a white car and a black car. As the white car turned the corner, for whatever reason, pulled over to the curb like he was going to get out. Well, yeah, I don't know. And the other guy saw that, jumped out of his car. They saw him jump out of the car with the gun and took off. There was a driver and a passenger, and he fired off like 4 rounds, missing the driver, but he hit the passenger with a bullet in the head, and it looks like he's going to survive. But, you know, ain't no time for tough guys on the road anymore. It's not like it used to be. It's not like fuck you and this and that, excuse my mouth, and, you know, throwing fingers out the window and all that. That don't happen anymore. They come out and they shoot. You know, they'll follow you if they have to. They'll follow you all the way, getting angry and crazy. It's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. So, you know, say a prayer for that guy. But like I said, they said he looks like he's going to survive. So thank God for that. But it's just insanity. Insanity. I think I need to get a bunch of my cousins and a bunch of my friends and everything else, and we'll become the new guardian angels. I got a few friends. Al Brown, Eddie Earl. I know these are my Facebook pals I know will come out with me, you know. And Jason and Anthony, and I forget about it. Are you kidding me or what? We'll start patrolling it. That's right. You know, we'll have our black jackets on, you know. Call it Sonny's something. We got to come up with something good, you know. And we'll start patrolling all these areas, you know. Walking around with cannolis. We'll throw cannolis at them and beat them over the head with strombolis. But seriously, something's got to be done. So, all right. So anyway, we'll get to one or two others later. Coco, the gorilla, has passed away at 56 years old. And Coco was the gorilla that became fluent in sign language and could read. Liked to be read to, liked to watch TV, understood what was going on. And speaking of Robin Williams, which I mentioned before, he went to visit Coco one day. And Coco, her mate, companion, whatever the hell they call it in gorilla world, had passed away, and she was in a deep depression, which tells you something. You know, it should waken us up to that animals do feel, they do understand, they do hurt, and so she was very depressed. And Robin Williams went there, no surprise, and played with her, and you know, tickled, and she wanted to be tickled, and he had this gorilla like he had us, hysterical laughing. She was snorting and everything else, and then she was, you know. And then she was like making motions, and he didn't know what was going on. So I forgot the lady's name that handled Coco, but kind of came in and said, and he goes, "What was that all about?" She goes, "Well, Coco wanted to take you into the back room for a little, no, take it easy, Coco." So I cracked myself up. These next 2 songs, actually, by Ray Charles, big fan of Ray Charles. Thanks to my mom and pop, because you've heard me tell the story. Like we all have our Sunday morning memories. The meatballs are frying, the sauce is cooking, or the gravy, but he would, pops would get up and just boom, Sinatra, this and that. But I always had to give one side of the album to just all Ray Charles music, because he was some kind of a talented guy. Went through a hard life. If you haven't seen it, I know I've said it 100 times, but find it on TV, rent it, and what do they call that? Netflix somewhere. It's got to be on one of those freaking things, Hulu, Bulu, Baba, whatever, and watch it, because it's just amazing what he overcame, and then almost fell, completely off the face of the earth through some other problems, but he came through. And this first song here, Georgia on My Mind, because he was black and because of some problems that he was having in life, he was banned from coming into the state of Georgia. And the DJs and radio stations, they were banned from even playing his song, Georgia on My Mind. And then through the help of a few politicians, believe it or not, and family and friends and everything else, they went to the powers that be and said, "What are you doing? This is Ray Charles. He wrote this song for us, for this state of Georgia." And it's the state song of Georgia. Georgia on My Mind. Such a beautiful song. You may sing along with me. We're sending this out to Ronnie Pagnata and Christine Tate and my cousins, the Maselli family, because they all live in Georgia. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia, Georgia, a song for you. A song for you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, oh Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Ooh, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia on I said just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Beautiful song. Thank you, Mr. Ray Charles. Beautiful song. I'm glad that all worked out. The state song of Georgia. Excellent. Like I said, my old friend, 40, probably more, Ronnie Pagnotta, moved down there a long time ago and left us all up here and went down and joined the fire department and ended up retiring as a captain, doing a great job. And he had 200 or 300 kids, him and Susan. So, yeah. And then the Masellis, my cousins down there, and Wee Wee and Paul. Yeah, Wee Wee. I said Wee Wee. That's her name. Shut up unless you're not Italian. and then Paula Ann and Mike and everybody else. So at one time, a lot of the Vetrano family lived down there too. So, nice. And of course, Uncle George and Gina and Aunt Lily and, so many of them arming around, Nikki and Maria and, well, whatever. And Christina Nolan Tate, who's down there and kind of forced to move down there because of a battle with the state of Alabama, who was still living, I would say about 2 or 3 years, right outside of Bedrock with the Flintstones. And she moved down there and, very scary time, took her children with her and boom, good, doing great in school. One just earned the service, and others winning all kinds of wrestling championships, and it's just a great story. And she's got her own business going now, building and refurbishing furniture, and she just painted a gigantic American flag on the side of a barn. Can't do that up here. I dare you. I'm not dare you. I will bet you can't do that up here, because there ain't no barns in New York. So anyway, so that was Georgia, and then this other song. Ray Charles wrote because, the chick he was hanging out with was, getting on his nerves, and she wasn't letting him go. And the folklore, although people swear to it, is that he wrote this song in like 10 minutes. And this is right up there with one of my favorite of all times. I just like the beat. I like the whole story. He's like, unchain my heart. You don't care about me anyway. Why would you make me live in misery for the rest of my life? Come on, unchain my heart and let me free, And then years later, then the other song came out, Unbreak My Heart. Mm-hmm. Not by him, but So here's Unchain My Heart. Love it, love it, love it. Sing along. Unchain my heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, but you don't care about me. You got me sewn up like a pillowcase, but you let my love go to waste. So unchain my heart, baby, set me free. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some fella answers saying you're not home. So unchain my heart, baby, set me free. I'm under your spell, like a man in a trance. But I know damn well that I don't stand a chance. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, you don't love me no more. Why lead me through a life of misery when you don't care a bag of beans about me? So unchain my heart, baby, let me free. Oh. Well, I'm under your spell, like a man in a trance. How I know damn well and that I don't stand a chance. Unchain my heart, let me go my way. Unchain my heart, you worry me night and day. Why lead me through a life of misery when you don't care a bag of beans about me? So unchain my heart, baby, set me free. Oh, won't you set me free? Whoa, set me free. Come set me free. Whoa, set me free. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. What a song. 10 minutes he wrote that song. And major talent. Major. Born blind. Well, not born blind, but gradually became blind at a very, very early age. And, because of his blindness and, he wasn't able to save his brother and his brother drowned. There was a whole. So I always say, be there for your children. The first 5 years, the psychiatrists say it's the first 3, but let's go because, we all go through different stages of mental capacity as we're getting, growing, learning new things. And, you learn as you get older, you learn about hurt, you learn about heartache, you learn about joy. When you're born and even up to 3 years old, most of the time, everything's happy. Everything's new. You're happy you could walk. You're happy you can shit in your pants and not get in trouble for it. And so, as much as you can, be there. And, if, like living up here, both of you have to work, okay, so then make the most out of it when you get home. Take a day off once in a while. Don't get married to your job so bad that you're not there, to nurture your kids and help them get through things that might be bothering them. And so, that's my speech on that one. What the hell is it? Oh, New Jersey mom, her son was being bullied at school. They're I don't know if they're from Mexico, they're Hispanic, whatever, but the son was getting bullied at school, go back to Mexico, all that kind of crap. So the mother started going to the school and waiting for him to get out, and then they would walk home together, mother and son. And the same shithead, and I'm talking that, I think he was 13 years old. I don't think I wrote it down, the age, but I think it said he was 13. And the same shitheads that were bullying the kid in school now followed him home and beat the mother up. I mean, this eye was closed. What difference? One eye was closed shut and all black and blue and swollen, and the other eye was closed about halfway through it, and, scrapes and everything on her forehead. So I hope they scoop these kids up and don't treat it like, stupid kids will be kids. No. And there again, you have to go back to the homes and see where these kids are coming from. It's bad enough being a bully, and you beat up a mother, you beat up a woman, you beat up somebody older than you, a parent. At that age, what kind of future did I have? Just ridiculous. So, they say she's going to be all right. They don't know yet. She might need some surgery on the eye. So we'll say our prayers for her. But, you have got to be kidding me. It's just freaking ridiculous. And, all right, I got one more song to do. So let me just do this. Little bit of news from across the pond over in England. There was a couple that was forced, they were kept hostage in their house for 6 days, 6 days and nights, by seagulls. I'll take a sip and let you think about that for a minute. It's not funny, Tino. Birds of a feather, you know what I mean? And the reason is they were nesting right outside their house. And the seagulls are protected only when they're nesting, So every time they open the door to come out, the seagulls saw that as a threat to their eggs or their babies and everything else and attacked them. And she was 71, and he's 76, right? Or 74. Maybe I wrote that down. 76. I was right. And At one time, the attack, cut his eye over here, cut him under here. He had to get stitches, go to the emergency room, and trying to find ways like to sneak out through the garage, and it's not big enough to hold the car, and then like kind of run to the car. And he said it's just like the movie The Birds, and I'm like, always scared about that, that movies eventually become truth, and start wondering about, remember Christine we were talking about the other day? So you never know, but all is well now because the nesting is over, and the fledglings have been hatched, and these people can go out. And the lady, the guy's wife, is like I said, 71, but not very mobile and has to walk with a walker and everything. And she'd be dead before she even got to the car. So he had to do his best he can and go out every day and pick up food and pick up the medicine. And sometimes he wouldn't make it to the car. He'd have to come running back in and stay in the house. So, wow, I just couldn't believe that story because not many movies scared me. I think I've told you that a few times. The Bird scared me. Absolutely, The Bird scared me. That can't happen? Yeah, of course it could happen. And I remember racking my brains trying to figure out what made him do it. It was her, Tippi Hedren, because she brought them friggin' lovebirds. And my mother would go, what? Oh, they're bringing lovebirds to the island. You don't bring lovebirds to an island. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And I don't know, but I want to know why. Because it just happened. That was her answer. For a lot of things, when she didn't have the answer. You know what I mean? Right, Ma? And I don't know, but wow, when they were pecking her eye out and pecking the head, oh, my God. Alfred Hitchcock was one weird dude. I like it. So we could save a couple of one for tomorrow. But, we're going through the song list here, and this could be the start of something big. That's the one. That do you know? Georgia on my mind. Love comes in all different flavors. This is love for country. This is love for the mountains of Georgia, and beautiful. And now you're falling in love, and unchain my heart, you son of a. But then you're falling in love again, and you want to go to the moon, don't you? I think so. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I cherish and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, I love you. There you go. And now that I love you, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Nobody ever loved me like she does. Ooh, she does. Yes, she does. And if somebody loved me like she do me, oh, she do me. Yes, she does. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm in love for the first time. Don't you know it's gonna last? It's a love that lasts forever. It's a love that's got no past. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. And from the first time that she done me, oh, she done me good. I guess nobody ever really done me like she done me. She done me good. Don't let me down. 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 Or I'll bust you right in the face. The Beatles and Don't Let Me Down. I've been there. Nobody ever loved me like this girl. You understand? So if you're going to love me, don't let me down. Love that. Right? Okay. So I was going to say something and I don't remember what the heck it was. I don't know what's happening with Facebook. I don't know if you're seeing it, but my thought for the day, yeah, it's still being copied, written and videoed. But I used to average 100, 110, 90, somewhere in that area, every thought for the day. And all of a sudden, boom, it's like going 50, 60. Not right. I've been averaging 1,200 to 1,800 on these the Songfather show. And what's today? Tuesday. So last week, Thursday was not too bad. Friday took a long time to get up to 1,000. And yesterday was only like 400. I got to look later, but I don't even think it hit 500. So something's not right. So I don't know if they have, if they slow things down, the algorithms or whatever they use. I really don't know. But if you're talking to people, because I know a lot of you out there do, and you talk to your friends and stay in touch on Facebook and, ask them, if they're watching the Songfather show. If they say no, then you need to get in your car and go over and smack them. But if they say yes, but they haven't seen it in a while, just find a way to let me know, and so we can, do something about that. I'd like to get that viewership up there, and I think we have a good time. And yesterday was a lot of fun, and a lot of people, joined in and went out, and some of them got to leave and cook dinner, some of them were still at work. So maybe I'll change it up to 7 o'clock. And if anybody watched Fred Rubino last night on Get the Food Over Here with Christine, they devoured an entire box of Krispy Kreme donuts in 15 minutes, let me tell you. So, yes, it passed the test. It didn't go down the tubes like Pizza Hut did with their Piston or their Pizzone or... But, I was watching going, oh, my God. I forgot he lives down by Disneyland, and it takes too long to get down there. And he was doing it with such class and dignity to both of them. They were cutting it in quarters. I'm like, oh, stop teasing everybody. But 2 thumbs up from the Rubinos on the Krispy Kreme, because they came out with a new line of donuts that now have cream inside. Krispy Kreme really never had that. It was always the glaze they were very famous for, but now they're putting some chocolate inside with some of them. I still with the hole in the middle, not like a jelly donut, and jelly and some of the others. And so that was the big test, and they said yes, it stood up, just as good as the original. So all right, so we'll see in 2 weeks, who he's going after next, who they're going after next. And that's the story for today. That's the show. I hope, again, you had a good time. I thank you all for always tuning in, for all the wonderful things you're saying. I love yous. And, we're always going to have a lot to talk about, think about, and laugh about, because that's the way the news is. And so I'll see you all tomorrow at 6. Have a good night, everybody. Yankees going tonight if you want to watch it. Yankees again. They could run away with everything before the All-Star break. Untouchable, uncatchable. Beautiful. So, bam, I love you. Ciao. Thank you. And, of course, yes, I know. Imagine if somebody's tuning in that didn't know what this is about, and they only catch the end when I'm going like this.